On a gloomy, solemn Saturday, rain poured onto the guild, with howling winds battering the doors like rampant bulls and raging lightning rattling the sky. No business and activity for the Casual Master Quest Guild today, I'm afraid. No one would be foolhardy enough to come looking for adventure today. Yet, in the blindness of the storm, a small spear of clarity slowly walked into view. A person, hidden under hood and robes, trekked ever so further towards the oak doors leading inside. Surrounding this person was an aura of protection, a light whispering orb that gave the adventurer refuge of the elements. A long, thin hand, clad in the darkest of leathers, reached for the knocker from the mass of robes, and with 3 booming echoes of hallowed greeting, the doors begrudgingly creaked open. Inside was a magnificent sight, if not for the weather making the atmosphere dreary. Candlelight flickered across the figure's face, revealing small whiskers and slanted eyes of a lady's face. The aura dissipated with the light wave of the hands, and she was soon taken in by the Casual Master Quest Guild Hall. A dozen stained glass windows reached for the heavens, telling tales of many heroes and their triumphs. Red oak floors spanned underneath warm woolen rugs. Paintings and flora decorated the embroidered woodwork, showing scenic visions of faraway lands and kingdoms. A large stone fireplace dominated the hall, where light but slightly dusted furniture laid pose and inviting. The adventurer was not able to gather her sights for too long, however, as an elven lad with silk black hair and a luscious beard stepped forward to greet her, dressed in silks and fine leathers of silver and black, and with a guitar laying to his back, Nick approached his new guest to give his greetings. Rose petals fell with every step he took.
Oh, we were not expecting company on a day like this, fair traveler. Welcome to the Casual Master Quest Guild Hall. You probably shouldn't be playing Destiny 2 until September 4th.
From behind bookshelves and storage closets, a rather large domineer figure rose from the piles of paperwork. That was Cam, but he was very busy today. He was unable to see anything going on. From the side of the well-designed bar, lacquered with pine and oak adornery, a gruff, bulking man was already fixing drinks from his hundreds of bottles of fuzzy beverages and liquors. A large set of plate armors hung on the wall, marked by blessings of a foreign goddess, although notably most emblems were either scratched off or burnt through. It doesn't appear to be holy anymore. The man, already taken his own shot, glared warily at the figure as she took off her hood to reveal cat ears of brown fur and wide eyes returning the stare. Tyler didn't trust an adventurer who would risk the storm to visit his guild. "What have you come here for, adventurer? We have no guests to give on a day like this. Do you need ale and a fire to tell a story, perhaps?" The catfolk mage looked at each of the prominent figures, appraising them and taking in the building tension, and with sudden fluid motion, she pointed vicariously at each of them with a wild toothy grin.
"I am Maria, Archmage of the Storm, and I have come to challenge the existence of the Casual Master Quest Guild."
Nick's guitar snapped a string. Cam's Vita fell off his cane. Tyler's all-rum drink turned into apple juice. Lightning flashed across the windows and shook the old fortress of history.
This is not good.
Oh boy.
If I win, I turn this place into a Konami Pachinko arcade.
What the
Find a spot around the fireplace, you goons. It's time for another tale of Casual Master Quest.
Aloha everybody, and welcome to the Casual Master Quest. This is episode number 16, where a paladin, a bard, a hoarder, and a mage all walk into a guild and make a podcast together. My name's Tyler Vidito, and I'm going to be your host today. However, we have many, much more important people coming in. However, we also have one super duper awesome, extravagant character coming on in. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you first and foremost. We have Maria. Maria, how's it going?
Hello, I'm great. How's it going?
We know you're great. You're here.
Yes.
You stepped in the halls. You've been blessed. You got all these stat buffs. Look at you, plus 10% to all stats.
Barometer?
I feel so honored. Really.
Oh, man. You feel agile.
Yes.
However, keeping her in check because she is our super awesome yet very hostile guest. Watch out. Cam is going to keep her in check. Hello, Cam.
How's it going, man?
I am living the dream, but how about you?
I'm living the dream as well. I got a lot of video games, a lot of free time, a lot of good stuff. Double dreaming.
Double dream. What does it mean? Nick, you are here to tell us. Nick, how's it going, buddy?
Greetings.
Greetings, Koopalings.
Welcome to the guild, fellow adventurers.
Welcome to the guild. Okay, so we have a 4-person going on. This is ridiculous. I don't know what's going on. Let's talk about our weeks. Now, I personally have played a lot of games. Not too great. Some sparkling moments. I'm hoping you guys got a couple under the satchel yourself. And let's get starting. However, first and foremost, go into the most important of the video game talk. We are going to be going, ladies and gentlemen, to the very well-known Pokemon Go Watch Proverbial Minute.
Oh, man.
Where, if you want to talk and listen to all sorts of Pokemon Go, this is the minute you want to tune in. Time stops. Like, the dimensions slow to a crawl. It might actually be, 5-10 minutes. We don't know. It doesn't matter. It's a minute. Mm-hmm. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to look at Nick. Nick is getting all sorts of giggles over here. He wants to tell us exactly what he's been doing this Pokemon Go day. Let's hear it.
Absolutely nothing, kind sir.
Fantastic.
All I've done this week is spin some Pokestops, send some gifts, get back on the gift grind because I have been slacking. But otherwise, I have done actually no. Cyndaquils have been like Johto Pokemon are a lot more common now, right?
Cyndaquil?
Because of the
event,
Raikou and the it's Raikou, right? The rotation right now.
Yeah, so switching over to Entei soon.
Cyndaquil and Totodile are some of my favorite Pokemon ever. They hold a very special place in my heart. And Totodile was fairly common for me, but the moment I saw Cyndaquil, I almost, it was a very, it was a squeal that I should not have made in public.
Yeah.
Oh, please, own that squeal.
Big boy words.
Cyndaquil is awesome, man.
Yeah.
Cyndaquil, Quilava, Typhlosion. It took me the longest time to say the word Typhlosion. Like, it's kind of like one of those words where you read it enough, but you don't actually say it out loud. Like, for example, I think the first 4 books of Harry Potter, I thought it was Hermione or something like that. But it took me, like, even J.K. Rowling was kind enough to say, it's Hermione, come on. And it's like, I'm sorry, I lived in Michigan. I never heard of any Hermiones. I thought it was Japanese. Not gonna lie. However,
we're talking about video games here. You're getting off topic, Tyler.
Yes. Maria, have you been playing any Pokemon Go this week?
Oh, absolutely. So Totodile, it's funny that you say that because I have so much trouble catching them. I feel like I waste so many Pokeballs catching them. They just always, I'm like, I don't even want to catch them lately because I'm like, don't want to waste all these Pokeballs.
I totally understand. It sounds like me with Eevees.
You gotta use that golden ratio. What's it called? The golden ratio Fibonacci spiral is how you do the optimal catching. Let me tell you.
Yeah, after like 4 or 5, it's not worth it. It's like you hope they run away at this point because
I know.
Just take all my Pokeballs. Jeez.
But Eevees, I have to catch every single one I see. Like it's
because they're Eevees, Tyler.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
You're literally the only person here
in the world,
maybe even in the world. Yes, you are absolutely right, Cam. That has a problem problem with EVs.
Okay, Cam, I know you're up next. However, I just want to make a poll. I want to get a taste of, the amount of chlorine in the water here. Are all 3 of you big fans of Eevees?
That's my favorite Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm down.
Design-wise, yes.
You're Eevee curious, I guess you could say, Cam?
Yeah, no, I'm not down. That's the thing, right? I'm definitely down. It's just not like in my top 20, but I'm down.
Okay, and I'm the person who's like...
More so than you, Tyler. Cam is higher on the list than you are.
Oh, yeah, no, I got Umbreon in the top 20, though. Don't get me wrong. So, yeah.
Okay, I can work with that. I mean, I would say Sylveon would be in my top 20 of Pokemon fighters.
Okay, there we go. That's an evolution at least.
Evolution,
yeah,
but
no,
Eevee
that
itself
counts.
is trash.
Well, when I feel like this is given whenever I say Eevee, I'm talking about just Eevee, all like the whole.
As a mascot, it's sitting on his shoulder and it's a giant turd.
No, it's beautiful and
so cute,
elegant and graceful, Tyler.
A beautiful Eevee is a dead Eevee. Okay, I'm just putting it out there. All right,
leave this place.
All right, there goes our viewership. There goes our.
No, they're happy to trash talk me on Twitter. I've learned recently. Cam, have you been playing any Pokemon Go?
Yep, just a little bit. I finished my research task, got to catch another Raikou, which makes, I think, like my 12th or 13th one. So
Lord.
I didn't really need it, but, you know, it's a capture, so I'll take it. Other than that, I've just kind of been doing what I've been doing in the very beginning of Pokemon Go, which was like back when we didn't know how the game worked and we kind of just walk around like outside in the woods. Like, of course, there's Pokemon in the woods, and then there aren't. So I'm going for a lot of walks out in the woods and doing some runs and stuff like that with Pokemon Go open, just hatching eggs and catching almost nothing. But the Johto Pokemon have been really great to me. I actually have a decent amount of 100 IV Johto Pokemon, so I've been able to actually boost them up to max just because of all the candies I'm getting. So that's pretty much all I've been doing.
Fair enough. Just want to point out a couple of things. Last I checked, we are at 800,000 K experience difference between myself and Cam. Terrible English right there, but that's okay. I'm terrible at English.
We understood you. That's fine.
That's fine. So I am now officially under 1 million away from him. Not catching up anytime soon. That's a long way still. 100% of the credit goes to making all sorts of good friends. I realized, there was one time I was trying to evolve all those Eevees to finally get rid of the Sons of Guns. Had a lucky egg going on. Most of I was like, oh, hey, you hit level 3 best friend, which is usually 50,000. Just that was 100,000. It's like, okay, sure, cool. I know, right?
Nice.
Just perfect opportune moments. Just want to point out for those who don't know, like I said earlier, Entei is going to be the next thing on the research. We do have in about less than a month got the Chekarita coming out as the Pokemon community event. Much later in the month, I believe it was like the 21st or 22nd, somewhere around that weekend. And for the new 5-star raids, Regirock is finally going to take his leave, which is well due. I'm sorry, he sucks. And Ho-Oh is coming in. So we got Ho-Oh.
Okay.
Ho-Oh is a pretty good start. I do like Lugia better, but that's okay.
And
So we
Celebi's
got-
in now. Can't forget that.
Yeah, Celebi just came out as the special
medical research.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
And I will never catch her because I don't want any more friends. I don't. It's like I should because that means more experience. But it's like I got 17 friends I gotta give gifts to daily if I want to keep up, and it's like I can't do this. Now, the person in charge of the Discord for my local area, we have about 600-700 people in that Discord. He is friends with, he told me like either 150 or 170 of them. And he's learned a couple of things. First and foremost, he can open as many gifts as he wants. And that gets his bags full very quickly. And it's very upsetting for him. And it sucks to be him, right?
Yeah.
The second thing is he can only send out 20 gifts a day. So, yeah. Actually, no, I think it might be the opposite. I think he can only accept 20 gifts a day. And he can put out as many as he wants to or something like that. There was a 20 limit on somewhere. And like I was getting frustrated with him because he's like, oh, I kept trying to give him a gift, but he hasn't opened mine, but he was still sending me it. And I felt like that was betrayal to me. I was like, I got to give you a gift. You got to give me a gift, son. I know only one of us has to give a gift in order for the friendship to go up. But I want to do 1-to-1. And he's like, nope, sorry, can't. There's a limit. I got to pick between you and like 150 other people. Fine, whatever. Let's see. I haven't gotten too much further. I thankfully got out of my EV burnout, so that's the most important thing. I now am able to play again without going, ugh. But
And EV burnout, mind you, doesn't sound like the worst of burnouts. I will say that.
The cure to the EV burnout was actually me releasing about 400 different EVs. That was actually very satisfying. On the other hand, I have a lot of EV candies now that I still try to... Actually, I cashed most of them out for the evolutions and then got rid of those guys. Kept a couple. I got like I think a 2900 Vaporeon. So it's pretty in there. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, ooh, I'll throw you in the gym. I'll keep you. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it for the Pokemon Go minutes. So unless there's anything else you guys want to talk about.
All set
it's
here.
been pretty quiet.
Fantastic.
All
Okay.
set.
Let's lead on in. So I was a terrible host because I picked a guest, I think second or third. That was rude of me. And I'm very sorry about that, Maria. However, don't worry. I know you're like, oh God, please just put me last. I need to think about these things.
No, I need to see how you guys do it so that way, I
Okay.
can,
So then I'm going to focus on over at Maria. The spotlight is
Oh,
now turning back. Maria, what have you been playing this week?
This week, mainly the Hearthstone expansion, Boomsday Project. That came out August 9th, I believe, or 7th. And yeah, I've been playing that a lot. I got a Golden Whizbang, the wonderful, one of the legendaries who gives you a random deck to play with. So that's been really fun. It's also fun to beat people with that because I'm like, ha, I beat you with a random deck. But, That's my hostility coming out, I guess. So.
Ooh, finally, I was wondering where it came from.
Yeah, there it comes out.
No judging. We all have our own vices we put a lot of time into. About how much time do you think you put into Hearthstone in a week?
A lot. I
Don't
played
worry.
it.
We got numbers we're not proud of, but
Yeah.
I felt like Hearthstone.
Numbers we're not proud of. I don't know. Speak for yourself. I'm very proud of my numbers.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say I'm proud. I play on my lunch break at work a lot, so that's at least a half hour a day. And then I play a lot in the evening as well, maybe an hour, sometimes 2 hours. So how do I math? Maybe 5 or 6 hours a week. So it's not too bad.
Okay, it's not over the
It's
top
not
to where
terrible.
like I have an addiction and Blizzard knows my credit card better than I do
Oh.
at this point.
Those
Me
are
too.
rookie numbers, Maria. You got to pump them up.
I'm a Blizzard
gosh.
fangirl, and I will admit it through and through. Sorry, not sorry.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's fine.
The other thing I've been playing, Blizzard, is Overwatch Summer Games a lot. I fail miserably at Lucio Ball. So yeah.
Lucio Ball, is that the if I were to compare it to anything else, Rocket League with
Yes.
Lucio's?
Pretty
Okay.
much. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
which
just
is
wanna make sure.
funny because I'm very good at Rocket League, but when it comes to Lucio Ball, I just can't do it. I just epically fail.
The problem with Lucio Ball is because early day Lucio, there was only one vector with
Right.
his boop movement, so it would only go, I believe, horizontal. And now they took into account his verticality, his position, the position of the opponent, and so that hasn't translated well over to Lucio Ball. Because when they did it the first year, it was great, but so second and third year now, it's not been fun. It's
Yeah.
been very frustrating. Things like your boops just don't register.
No, and that's like my favorite part about Lucio, so that makes me very sad when they don't register well. So
Really stinks because if you think about it, I believe it's this weekend. Obviously, persons who are listening to it now won't get the chance, but isn't Overwatch free right now for people to play?
yes, it's a free weekend
Yes.
right now. Mhm.
24th
that
to the
on-
27th.
Yeah.
All platforms, or is it PS4
All platforms.
only? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hopefully, whoever is listening to this, give it a shot. Otherwise, you're
Yeah.
screwed. Also, beautiful dragon in my background that's being murdered.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Go ahead.
Also, yesterday I made a trip to GameStop and I bought Crash Bandicoot for the Switch.
That's
So,
right. You paid
yeah.
a small amount of time to pay respects to the Vita Shrine that's left
Yes,
there.
I
too.
did. I sent you guys
The
a picture.
memorial
Yes.
for those not forgotten.
Yes.
So I just want to keep the total running just so everybody knows. So
Of
in the
course.
UK, we're now at 8 weeks straight that the Switch port of Crash Bandicoot is #1 in the UK for some reason.
Really?
Still haven't figured it out. So when you said that, I was like, here it is. Here they are.
Here it is.
We finally
Combine
cracked the
them.
code. We have the person that understands it all. We're going to be grilling Maria later. Why is Crash Bandicoot still on top of the list over in the United Kingdom? What's going on here?
What's going
So,
on?
Tell me
I bought
about the numbers.
I bought it late last night, so I only got one level in. So I don't have an answer yet, but you'll have to grill me later.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Cam,
Yo.
tell me about it. What games have you been playing this week? All the hundreds, the billions of games I know you've been touching, man.
Well, see, the thing is, right, I actually, I do play a decent amount of games, but they're all stuff I've talked about already a decent amount, and so usually I want to try and get something new in every week.
Oh, I wouldn't know
to actually
anything
talk
about talking
that.
about games.
Tell me about Destiny 2. I haven't heard any about
Yeah,
that.
Destiny 2 is coming up. What's it called? So yeah, the only really notable thing I played actually, besides, I tested out Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, the demo, we talked about that, played some Vita stuff, played some, I think a little bit of PS4 stuff, but one thing I did play was a game called Low Mem Sky. And it's actually a demake, like a .io site browser-based demake of No Man's Sky, with the idea being low memory, so low mem sky. So you're just about browser-based game, and you can do all the things you can in No Man's Sky pretty much. So you fly around, you find new planets. They have an insane number of planets as well. You find warp cells, warp closer to the center of the galaxy, and it's just like a nice little fan project basically. And they even say right at the beginning, inspired by No Man's Sky. So I played around with
Inspired.
that. Yep.
I was going to say they wouldn't want to try to closely emulate it any shape or form. That would be frowned upon.
That'd be frowned upon.
Yeah, heavily frowned upon.
Yep. I also was actually testing out, so I know I talked about playing old school RuneScape on mobile since the Android beta's out. I tested that out on a few other devices as well. So funny enough, I actually have it right here. I got a little propped. This is my Fire 7 tablet, I believe. You can pick
Really?
these up at Best Buy for like $40 sometimes on sale. Super cheap. But once you actually jailbreak it and you can run custom Android on it, you can actually run RuneScape right off this. So even something as cheap as this was able to run it no problem.
Really?
Nice.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice. And wait, does that mean you actually put money in? You bought the subscription to give it a shot?
So we all have free subscriptions. If you have Amazon Prime, if you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime. If you have Twitch Prime, you have a member subscription. So I just have to tie
okay.
the two accounts. Yeah.
Fair enough. Bless you, Jaggeds. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. Nick. Hey.
Hi.
Nick. No, Nick. We had a talk in the office. Now I'm going to need you to talk about something that is diverse, something we've never heard of before, brand new experiences that I've never ever heard in my life within reason. Lay it on me, Nick. What do you got?
Well, first of all, Tyler, I'd like to say that I want to leave that experience till the very end of this segment.
Of course.
I am going to quickly just touch upon what I have played this week. Overwatch, same as Maria here for the summer loot boxes, because there's a Diva skin that I really want, and I'm a filthy weeb.
Nice.
There's only about 2 days left in the competitive season, so I'm trying to get my rank back up. So that's going to be happening over the next few days. Destiny 2, obviously, because there's a big change coming on Tuesday. It's to get people prepared for the DLC that's coming on the 4th of September. So they're changing a bunch of weapon slot, a bunch of mechanics. And so I'm just keeping myself in form for when that launches so that I can get wrecked and be good when the patch comes out, because it's going to change the dynamic a lot. Now, as we've mentioned, you wanted me to talk about some new experiences. So,
of course.
To alleviate myself from the gloom that is Destiny 2. Steam Summer Sale that happened many eons ago, I feel like.
Yeah.
I picked up a little game called Bayonetta.
Ah, yes, you did
For
mention
about
that game.
six Canadian dollars.
So was it like 8 cents for us or something like that?
Something like that. Yeah, something like that.
Sure.
Good deal.
I really like it. It's fantastic.
Good
Tell
man.
us about it. What is Bayonetta?
So
What is this
Bayonetta
thing?
Bayonetta is about a sexy librarian who likes to beat people up for no reason, as far as I've understood.
Okay.
It's like a very convoluted plot. All I know is that I can have guns, swords, and it's hack and slash, and they're demons, and I fight.
Look,
Actually,
Nick,
no, I think I'm fighting the angels.
Yeah, I'm not sure where you're pulling librarian from, but you got an idea forming there.
it's the glasses and the hairstyle.
Yeah.
I understand, but I was asking for personal thoughts, not an IGN article review. Come on, jeez.
No, it's fun. It's been a while since I played a game where I can just play without thinking too much. I did stream it, and you did happen to be there during one part of the stream where I struggled through a boss fight, and that was the only time where I actually thought about what I'm doing and had to plan and time my moves, time my dodges. But for the most part, I can just go hack and slash. Oh, I lose a little bit of health here. That's not a problem. Oh, I'm almost dead. Maybe if I do this and actually focus now for the next 20 seconds, I'll clutch it out and I'll be fine.
And
if
you absolutely did that too.
Yeah, I did that a few times actually, which I was impressed with myself. But playing Dark Souls 3 with my friends a couple of months ago really implanted that dodging instinct in me. So I just had to learn boss behaviors right before they do a big attack or a certain kind of attack.
The tells.
Beyond those parts where you have to do some thinking, the platforming, the puzzle solving, those are the games that I grew up on. And so it was really nice just to play something where I wasn't necessarily, my sodium levels were increasing, right? Where I'm playing against other players who are better than me. Here, I just have to worry about playing against a computer who's better than me.
Fair enough. And I guess if you wanted to make the computer your sworn and immortal enemy, that'd work too.
Yep.
Or you just get good. One of the two.
Or I just get good. Yeah.
Well, get good.
And I'm the normal player. I play all games at normal difficulty, because even the games that have harder modes, normal is just as hard. Sometimes I feel.
I was actually going to say Platinum Games as a development studio, the people who worked on Bayonetta, generally their hard modes or their normal modes are hard modes for many other studios. So.
Yeah, there wasn't even an option for anything higher than normal.
Mm-hmm.
It was normal, and then I had to go backwards for easy and super easy or something. I can't remember.
American normal, which I believe would be at that point.
European extreme.
Bless you, Metal Gear Solid, for showing us the light on that one. Anything else on your end there, Nick, though?
No, once I'm through with my playthrough of Bayonetta, I'm going to jump into the first Max Payne. That's featured. Yes.
Ooh, we should
But
do that
the jump-
together.
Why not Bayonetta 2, though, Nick? What's going on?
Because I can't play it on my PC.
Oh,
Why not, Nick? There's 2 great consoles you can play it on,
wonderful.
Yeah, but I wouldn't
Wait,
be able to
2?
stream off them.
Is there a second model of the Switch now?
Stop. Validate my Wii U once more, will you?
Oh, jeez. Okay. For myself, unfortunately, I'm going to start to hit the same beats as Nick over here, but I'm probably going to be like 1,000 times worse. However, it is technically in the same field because it is, in fact, an Activision Blizzard product, of course. I've been playing my usual fair share of World of Warcraft. Ironically enough, the person that got me to play is actually starting to yell at me because he's like, you bought and installed the expansion, but you haven't played the expansion. Why not? And it's like, a couple of problems here. Scott, I don't have the reputation I want to keep going. And in my head, when I play a new expansion, I want a fresh new character straight out of the pot. It's terrible when you think about it, getting from like level 1, because it was easy, 1 to 80, easy. That was 2011, 2010, a little bit higher now. It's at 110 before we can start the next expansion, and it's a jump. It's a jump. So right now, for those who are curious, I am currently halfway from honored to revered, so which is level 2 to level 3 reputation. I need to get to level 4. So experience in the numbers for Cam, who's interested, I have 6,000 experience before I hit revered, and then 21,000 on top of that to get to exalted. That's 27,000. Now, through dailies and world quests and all that good stuff, I can make approximately 1,000 a day with a weekly bonus of 2,000 a week. So theoretically, I'll have this done in just in a little bit under maybe 3 weeks. And that's if I do it every single day. Just grind my teeth against it. Like, I must have put my upper jaw to a curb and say, hey, Blizzard, can you just stomp on my head here real quick? I need the reputation over here. Come on, bleed me out a little bit. But true to my word, I told him I would actually play the expansion a little bit on my Paladin. I hit level 114 on it. I've gotten into the third area of Culturus, as it's called. Story's actually very good. Problem is, though, I'm so used to like the end of the world is nigh and all that stuff, and there's a big bad villain. Right now, it's like everybody kind of hates each other. We got our own little weird problems here. Can you help us? I'm like, I guess, sure.
Tyler, it's been 11 days, and you're not even at eye level 325. Come on.
You know, it's funny because
you gotta get on that, daily heroic and mythic grind.
I can't believe I'm being shamed by the master of grinding.
From, Nick?
I know, right? Ironically enough, Scott, like I said, the person that got me to play, he's working on his third level 120. And so he's like, I bet I can get my Warlock past yours. And I'm like, well, no kidding. Mine's at level 28.
Yeah. And also, like, I was just going to say also, like, in scenarios like that where it's like, sure, I'm sure you can because that's the only game you play.
That is a very fair point.
True.
I mean, I would say this week, I usually put 1 hour every day if I can, just for the world quest alone, because it doesn't take all that much time. As I got, the demonstration in the background showing what's going on here. Great shot, honey. Anyways, so I would say about maybe 6 to 7 hours on WoW, with an extra 3-4 when I'm playing the actual game, the new expansion. So I got that going on. Anyways, let's push on over a little bit towards Persona 4, the next game I've been playing since the dawn of time.
Yay!
For the record. Cam will be very pleased that so far I've defeated that goon. I understand what he's talking about, why there wasn't a dramatic beginning, all that stuff, and now it's carrying on over. From what I can tell, I am getting ready to reach what appears to be Nyoto's next dungeon, or not her next dungeon, her dungeon. And Cam, you can agree with me. Nyoto, her in-game art is a bit wanting, or at least a lot to want.
So if you see right here, this is my Yasogami shirt from, in Inaba Yasogami High, which is where Persona 4 takes place. Persona 4 Golden is one of my favorite games of all time. And Naoto, she's like, I really like Naoto as a character, and I really like her in design-wise, but her in-game, like, actual, like, key art with the frown face and the hat, it really doesn't do it any justice. So you need to actually go outside of it and look at, like, key art from the anime and look at key art from Persona 4 Dancing All Night, and then you get to see, okay, there's Naoto. There's the one that I expect.
Naoto's hat is like, it turns her into a parasect at this point. Like, it's not Naoto anymore. It's a large blue hat that is stolen a young girl who wants to pretend she's a boy's body, which technically I'm not supposed to know that Naoto is a lady. I don't know when I'm supposed to figure that out, but I'm sure, the joke's gonna be in there somewhere. Also, one last mention to Persona 4, and Cam, maybe you can help me out on this one. They go on a school trip out to a prestigious high school, if you remember that. And they get drunk. They go to a club and they're like, hey, I'm going to get drinks because someone owes me one. And so they bring drinks in. All of a sudden, they're like, oh, look at me, I'm getting a little tipsy over here.
Yeah.
And they start doing weird, completely drunk off their butt things. We're 16, lol, what's going on?
King's game, yep.
And Nyoda, yeah, the King's game. Oh boy.
That's the best scene in the anime, arguably.
That was, so I got Chie to sit on my lap. Did you get anything interesting too, or?
So just actually a little background to that. So if I'm remembering correctly, you're playing Golden, right?
Yes.
So that, if I remember correctly, is a unique to Golden scenario because the place you go is actually the town from Persona 3. So it's a callback to Persona 3. I don't remember if it does it in the base game or not, but the place you went was like where Persona 3 takes place. So that bar they go to, like I said, one of the best scenes in the anime, and you need to see the anime scene because I think it does it justice, really playing up Yu Narukami as this like playboy almost, where he actually gets in the anime everybody to sit on his lap because he's Yu Narukami. So that's the answer. Yeah, all of them.
Well, I had a gripe with that because they're like, tee look at us, we're all drunk. And then Naoto like sniffs the glass, just like, there's no alcohol in here. Meanwhile, one of the characters is drunk, passed out, and the other one is just completely red in the face. And they're like, haha, look at us, we're all drunk.
Yep.
And I was like, but you're not drunk. There's no alcohol in here. And it's like, she looks off into the distance and freaking Atlas's lawyers are like, yes, please, we got to confirm that we are not supporting underage drinking in this game.
It's a big thing, actually. So funny enough, as far as, we talk about and joke about Japanese games being relatively uncensored and what sort of materials they do put out, you cannot show underage drinking and you cannot show underage smoking at all. So even in anime, like a good example actually being part 3 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, where Jotaro, the big burly dude who looks like he's like 27 or something, he goes to smoke, and in the anime they censor it so it's just black. And so you cannot show that stuff no matter what, any circumstances. It's super, super heavy over there.
It was just weird, okay? Because like they suggest, oh, we're drunk. Like, oh no, you're not. Yes, we are. But okay, sure. So that's Persona 4. I'm currently that far in. I think I'm like 24, 25 hours in. Made a mistake. I decided to do a dungeon again, so I'm stuck for another 2.5 hours before I can actually play the game again. Twilight Princess HD. That's the game I've been streaming. And boy, oh boy, have I been having quite a time with that one. Oh boy. I've noticed that there was a lot of issues that I really love Twilight Princess HD. I still do. And even the smallest glitches won't faze me, but I'm starting to notice more and more of like the paint is fading on the woodwork, I guess you could say. Like there's one time I ran into a room and everything was empty and all of a sudden the enemies popped in. Not details, the enemies. It was like poop. The enemy's like, just looking around. I was like, oh, I exist. Oh, let me activate my. There's Link. Okay, and things kept going. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And there was a moment, and apparently this led to a comedy fan art skit being drawn about me. I had to show a letter to one of the clown brothers to activate the cannon to be shot over into the Gerudo. Is it Gerudo or Gerudo? I say Gerudo, but
I've always said Gerudo.
Ooh. Okay, fine. Gerudo Desert. And I didn't know that. I thought I just had to talk to him, and I spent there like 15 minutes running back and forth, and all of a sudden my neck snapped. I just had a slack jaw smile just to the sky as I figured it out. But I'm doing good so far. I just completed Snow Peak Temple, and I believe I am heading over towards the Temple of Time. I got a little tickling of the temple so far. And fun fact for you guys, the Temple of Time actually can be completely skipped if you're playing the GameCube version.
Oh.
There's a trick where you can use the Boomerang of Gales, and where you can toss it, you can launch yourself forward by swinging your sword at it, some trick like that. And doing that, it was either you can skip the temple entirely, or you can skip all the dungeons all the way up until it. I don't remember what it was, but it cut a lot of dungeons out of it to the point that they don't do the dungeon and speed runs with glitches.
Yep.
But that's pretty much it on my end. If there's anything else you guys want to talk about your own video game experiences, speak now or forever hold your pieces, or Triforce or something. I don't know. Your Legos. Don't step on those either.
Yep. I don't think, I mean, I did play other stuff, but it's stuff I've talked about before. I know Pokemon Prism being one of them, that very extensive fan game I'm working on stream. And so that's going good. We're past the second gym at this point. It's starting to get in a groove, but, we're still losing people. It's a pretty threatening run because we're doing a blind Nuzlocke of it. But as far as design goes, I'm actually pretty happy with it as a fan game, because usually fan games, and this one's not completely like apart from it, but usually fan games will introduce a lot of edgy concepts and like have some crazy fake mon or something, or some, you know, crazy level curve. But so far it's been pretty realistic and pretty fair with Prism, I feel, even to the point where like they're smart enough to say, okay, we put you through a maze that was in between this town and the next town, so this area in the next town, you know, we're not going to have a maze right after that, right? So they pace things out in a way that makes sense, so you're getting a break from one sort of thing to get to like exploration in another way. So the design of it is actually pretty competent for a fan game. So
merciful.
Yeah, that's what's going on there.
All right, fair enough. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for those who have been here for a long time, they know what's coming up next. However, we have a curveball for you. Midterms are a vicious thing.
Yeah.
And in fact, personally, when I do my midterms, I like to take a break. Nick here has been working very, very hard for the Nick Switch initiative. He got almost destroyed, but beautifully recovered at the very last second. He did the splits, might have crushed his crotch a little bit, but he stuck the landing. That's all that matters. However, I respect Nick here. He requested a break time for this one, so there's not going to be a Nick Switch initiative this week. However, next week we will have Star Fox ready for him, ready for action, hopefully, preferably, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm actually calling in from Reykjavik right now. It's beautiful out here.
Vacation.
It's like it's actually a 3D printed of his background right now. If like a calm wind blew it over, it just showed.
No, it's a green screen.
Beaches.
I just carry on terrible green screen, and I just set it up.
Okay, fair enough. Thanks. Cool. Thank you, Nick.
Consistency is key.
We are forever in debt to you. However, we do have a couple of little fun stuff just goof around to pass the time in this section. Let us reach out to you. I don't know where I was going with that. However, anyways, Cam, you reach us out at casualmasterquest@gmail.com. However, we're going to have a little game instead. We're going to play a little game called 20 Questions. For those who know IGN's main podcast, whose name I could totally not remember right now. That's okay. It doesn't matter. Casual Master Quest is all you need. Anyways, we play a game called 20 Questions, where we got one person who's going to think of a video game, and we're going to be asking up to 20 yes or no questions. And hopefully we can figure out what game the person was thinking of, and not wildly switching on the go, because we trust you. Everybody's honorable here. Everybody is fair. That's why I'm
pretty hostile. So
I'm gonna say that this is why I'm not the person thinking of the game, because I want to have a good experience. So we got two people that are thinking of it. First one's going to be Cam. Second one's going to be Maria. Cam, do you have a game that you can think of in your mind?
I do, and I think I've made it fair enough.
Fair enough. I was warning him not to pick a game for the Commodore 64, one that only had like 5,000 copies sold, and judges from the bowels of, I was going to say a bad word, but hell. Anyways, Cam, you got it. Let's go off in order, which is not order at all. Maria, can you take us off with the first question?
The first question.
I mean, if you want to push it over to Nick, that's okay too. And if Nick wants to push it over to me, we'll.
Maria's just like, what is the game?
No, I know the game. I'm just thinking of a good question.
Oh no! So wait, hold on. Just to clarify. So for this part, I have the game, and you guys are asking me questions to try and figure out what the game is.
Yes. Yes or no questions.
Yeah.
Wait, did you say no questions?
No, they're yes or no questions.
Oh, yes or no. Okay, I'm like, wait,
yes.
no questions.
No. Yes. Maybe.
Okay. Was it released in the last 5 years?
No.
I figured that one already. This is a Cam we're talking about. I can respect your choice on that one. Nick, go ahead.
See, there's a question I want to ask just to make sure that we're 100% clear, but I already know the answer to it. But I think I'm going to do it anyways, Tyler. Is it a Japanese game?
No.
Now, shouldn't you clarify that? Is this a game that was released originally in Japan or had a Japanese studio?
I take Japanese if I take Japanese game as developed by Japanese company. So that's okay. I'm saying no to developed by a Japanese company. Okay,
so we know it's either European or American release. So
could be Chinese.
I'm just talking with my teammates. You be quiet over there, young mister. Shoot. Was this game released between January 1st, 1990 and January 1st, 2000?
No.
Okay, so it's either going to be a really old game, be like from 1989, which would be Nintendo and way behind. But I trust Cam is smarter than this because he needs to think of a game we thought of. So it's going to be a game that's after the 2000s. So anything that's PlayStation and
Between 2000 and 2013, then, by that logic, because it wasn't released in the last 5 years.
okay, okay. So we got the kind of time frame. If you want to whittle it down, Cam, do you know what question we're on? I think that was 3 right
That was
there
3.
so far.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
keeping
yeah,
track.
you guys count. Yeah. What do you got next?
Who gets the question next?
It's me. I'm thinking. Was this made by a large gaming company?
I would say so. Yes.
Okay, let's see that. That's 4 questions.
Is it a console game?
Yes. Is it released on consoles?
What the hell, Nick? Oh, okay. No, that's fair. I guess my point was like, is it a console? Yes, it came on a console. Okay.
Yeah, no, but between 2000 2013, it could very easily be a.
That was
handheld
wrong of me
exclusive
to slash at you. Yes.
No,
so-
I understand, but the moment you said that, I'm like, I should have probably been more specific. But then, if it came out on consoles, at least we know that it might also have come out on handhelds. But
Okay.
it has.
Was this game exclusive to a system for at least a large period of time? Oh,
I'm gonna have to look on this one. Yes.
I would say it's exclusive to a console for at least let's say 3 years.
Oh, how about okay? I'm gonna help you out here because you're never gonna get it unless I give a hint on this part.
Ooh.
I will say it was exclusive to a platform, but that information will only harm you to trying to figure out what it is.
Okay, I'm gonna stay clear away from that.
So
That
for a
was
little bit of time, it was exclusive to a platform, but that will only harm you if you take that into consideration. So don't even ignore that.
run.
Okay.
Thank you, fine question asker. That
Run
was
from
question
that.
number 6. Go ahead, Maria, take it away.
Jeez. Was this a first-person shooter game?
Yes, it is.
Whoo, the snipe! Holy smokes, that was a snipe. Okay, so a first-person shooter between 2000 and 2013. Potentially, actually, no, I'm
It's
going to ignore
funny
that.
because like Maria doesn't have like the background to know me, but I'm sure you guys did not expect me to pick a first person shooter.
No,
which
these
is
are
why I
all
did it.
like the
Yeah.
wrong alleyways.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, Nick, take it away.
I don't know. The first person shooter game between 2000 2013. Tyler, I'm gonna push this on towards you because I'm blanking right now.
Okay, let's see. We are still on question number 8 then. Did this come out exclusively originally, whatever bullcrap thing? Okay, let me say this. Did it come out originally on the Xbox?
No.
Okay, so we got multiple other systems. That means PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, GameCube. We can try to tighten it in a little bit.
Just remember, I said run from that initial release question. That's the hint I'm giving you. Run from that. That's all. That's you're not going to figure it out if you pursue that line of thought
Okay.
because it's weird. It's something I didn't know about.
Oh boy, that's actually kind of disconcerting. Okay, I think this is question number 9. Go ahead, either Nick. Nick, do you want to pick it back up? Okay, he's running. Nope.
Is EA in any way, shape, or form involved?
No, it is not.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, geez. I might need to push. I'm trying to think of a question that it hasn't been said.
I like this game. This is a fun game.
Oh yeah.
Has it ever been? I know you said not to run with the console thing, but has it been
All I said
released?
was not to run with the initial release.
Oh, initial.
Mm.
Has it ever been released on the PC?
Yes.
Oh boy. Okay. Let's see. That was question number 10, I believe. I could be mistaken on that if anybody wants to confirm with me.
I've been counting. I have 11.
Okay.
So
We'll do 11. I find I'm stopped counting, man. I'm terrible at counting.
maybe I should have given us the extra question.
I'm tightening it down then. Let's see. We have 2000 to 2013 right now. Did it come out between November 10th, 2006 to January 1st or whatever? What date? Did we say any specific date for 2013?
You didn't hit any date for 2013. No, you just said last 5 years. So
Okay. Well, then December 31st of 2012, the last day. So did it come out
between
like
2006 November.
basically
6th.
I'm correlating it to did it come out with the release of the PlayStation 3 and 2013's very beginning?
Yes.
Okay, so we're talking about a potentially second or a previous gen game. That's a first person shooter that if we think about it too much, our brains will hurt, according to the cam. did get a re-release further out onto the PC.
And I also did say, yes, it was on consoles.
Yes, you did say it was on consoles. However, it did not make an appearance on the Xbox, which would make sense. The original.
No. Your question was whether it's exclusive to the Xbox. He did not say he said no. So that means it came out on all consoles, or at least
did I
the
say
main
exclusive
consoles.
though? Because
You said exclusive for the Xbox.
Okay, fine, that's fine.
Yeah.
I think that's 12 then. Somebody take it away.
Maria, do you have a question?
Not at the moment. I'm thinking.
Okay. Is it are the developers a German company?
No.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Developers. Do we want to focus on developers or publishers first?
First-person shooter. Previous gen, I was angling for Crysis.
Yeah, I figured I saw that was what you were going for. That would have been a good pull, but yeah.
I'm trying to think of like the biggest games that came out during that time would be like, well, obviously, the big ones like Call of Duty.
What makes you think it's the biggest?
Well, you said it came from a big company.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, but that doesn't
did also mention that I didn't know this either, which kind of throws me off too. Did you guys already? Is it my turn?
Yeah, I believe so. See,
I think so.
Okay. Man.
First place my mind went to was Halo, really, but then that was debunked with when you brought up the Xbox exclusivity question, first-person shooter, and then I said,
I feel bad because my intention with that question was for the original Xbox. If it was meant for that, so if he said yes or no to that, I wouldn't think that he would chop out the Xbox 360.
Oh, I see.
Oh man, he's giving that evil smile. I immediately regret this.
Pick your words carefully.
I know, right? Is the publisher for this game relevant today?
Yes.
Okay, that's something.
Was it an American company that made the game?
Yes.
Okay, so now
I'm assuming it was. No, did you say American company that developed or published? I guess it would be the same thing.
Made, and I said yes.
So developed.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so potentially big ones would be EA and Activision. However, his snide little marks would also suggest that it wouldn't be anybody that big, but kind of big.
We also said no to EA before, so.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes.
Does the game include other elements, other genres? So we clarified that it's FPS. Does it also include any sort of RPG or any other stereotypical features from other genres?
You're getting really vague there. Cam's getting nervous.
I would say no. No. Not to a significant extent.
Okay.
So
I'm just trying to rule out the Fallout series.
Yep. I see you're trying to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. During that time, first person, Dead Space from Visceral, that was third person, so I'd have to rule that one out.
And that was EA published.
That was EA published. That's why.
EA
So that rules out a bunch of
there's so much that we rule out.
Right, so it should rule out Battlefield as well?
Yep, because that would be DICE via EA, and they're a Swedish company anyway, I believe.
Well, I mean, you say Battlefield, that's Activision. Call of Duty would be EA, right? No,
the other way around.
Other way around.
The other way around.
Okay, so Call of Duty is still on the field somehow. Is it a Call of Duty related game?
No.
Okay, so we can get that one out of the way. Get that nightmare shot down.
Maria, I see you've been keeping track. How many questions has that been?
17.
Okay, so we have 3 questions left.
Hey, do you want another hint?
I would love one.
Sure.
Sure, if you're offering.
At one point recently, Nick has very much been on the right train. Nick was very recently on the right track. Like very...
Spirit Tracks. Spirit Tracks. He was saying that it could have been a Fallout game.
So I was on the Crysis and the Fallout track.
True. He really shut down Fallout for the most part because Fallout has heavy RPG mechanics, and he said that.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Let's see. Then you said Crysis. Another one that could be around this time would be Mass Effect. But is Mass Effect first or third person?
No, Mass Effect is third person.
Okay, good. Save that trouble one. Let's see. You also mentioned Halo. Halo would be another potential one.
Yeah, but it could be the sequels. I don't know how anal we're getting here with the specificity of games, but it could be the sequels. Because
Okay.
Halo 3 came out in 2007.
Then if I could ask for some clarification about my Xbox
No,
question.
but yeah. So, but then
Okay,
it's
I'll
Halo
allow
3
that
something-
clarification of Xbox. What's your clarification question?
When I asked you the question, is it exclusive to Xbox? Did you consider it being the question? Is it ever exclusive to any Xbox or just a certain
consider it
Xbox?
The Xbox brand.
Okay.
That question.
Well,
So that being
well,
every
that's luck
Xbox
at my end. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so we know it wasn't at least originally Xbox exclusive. Oh boy, it's hard because I want to read motion on this.
So we're thinking Crisis. What about like Zombie Apocalypse? Maybe is there something in there that maybe?
I mean, let's see. Left 4 Dead 2 could
Left
be
4
another
Dead
contender
2,
there.
yeah,
Team
maybe.
Fortress 2.
Team Fortress 2.
Team Fortress 2 is the game that I know Cam really loves, and he would. Oh man, he's poker facing it good.
I also love
I-
that game.
I have a question.
What do you
Wait.
Is it a
Orange Box. Wait a minute. Whems if Valve was the developer of this game, and Team Fortress 2 came out around to that time between 2006 to 2013, and then eventually got even much huger on the PC through Steam.
Yeah, but how relevant are they? How relevant are they today?
Could also be Portal technically. Is this game developed or published by Valve?
Nope.
Damn it.
Ah,
By the way,
Ah.
Team Fortress 2 was 2007.
Well, that's between 2006 and 2013.
Yeah, I could just want to clarify.
Okay. I thought I was so close, man.
we were onto something.
It turns out Team Fortress 2 was actually developed.
Is it related to the Far Cry franchise?
No.
Okay, then I'm.
Good shot.
We're at
Though.
night.
Good try. Good try.
We have one more question.
We have one more question.
One more question.
Rhea, would you like to
Take
do
what
the
you learned.
I don't
Maria,
know.
I just want to say you did well. You did the best out of all of us with the first-person shooter thing.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, no, that was right on the head. That was
because
fantastic.
they would have asked me, is this a Japanese RPG? Like
That was going to be my second question, actually.
Oh yeah.
So me being a guest today was good because since I don't,
right, you didn't know
your
my
team.
biases.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because I intentionally went out of the way.
I don't know. So after this one, we have to guess. Okay.
Yep.
Does it have to do?
Yes.
Does
I
it
was
have
say
to do?
technically it's 21 questions,
Ah.
but
Yeah.
20 questions for us, and then we give a final
It's
hot shot pitch.
fine.
Maria,
Does
I'll
it
let you
have-
decide.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. No,
Sorry.
go ahead.
Sorry. Does it have to do with the zombie apocalypse?
No.
I know, right?
All my guesses are expended at this
And I'm
point.
very upset because I forgot to set the hour timer. So I'm going to say, let's say hypothetically, between Cam's question and your question, we're going to have a little fun. Let's see. So that means we got to figure it out. It's between 2006, 2013, did not come out exclusively for the Xbox, was a first-person shooter. It was apparently a hellscape of information in terms of exclusivity from a certain console or anything like that, because it came out for the PC later on.
Actually, you know what? Let me clarify something because there could be a point of contention. So I'm going to clarify something. You
Sure.
asked if it took place in a zombie apocalypse. Can you go ahead and refine that question? How you want to define zombie?
Be careful what
this
you
is
choose,
true.
Trap.
I feel trapped. Can someone? I need to phone a friend.
You know what? Let me answer this with not a yes or no, but I'll just answer it with a maybe. If you similar idea, I'll say similar idea.
Similar-
That
idea.
includes parasites.
I'll say similar idea,
Okay. Well, now.
and I will say yes to post-apocalypse to make it easier on you.
Okay.
Oh,
Guess
boy.
post-apocalyptic, maybe to zombies.
Or mind controlled or something like that
Mind
in a way
control,
that
some kind of mind control,
See,
parasite.
knowing Cam, it's going to be a game that we all know, and we're just going to hate ourselves
Yeah.
at.
Yeah.
I can't tell if I'm going to be more mad at Cam or myself at this point. I guess it depends on what game it is.
I'm going to be mad at myself. I'm telling you that right now.
I'm gonna
Oh,
also
man.
be
I
mad.
picked
at
a real
myself.
mid tier in terms
I'm
of
a
popularity.
loose
so.
grenade. I don't know which way I'm going, but I'm going out one way or another. Okay, I am going to say Link's crossbow training.
Okay, no.
No, don't tell me that yet.
Well, I'm
Waiting for my
gonna
answer.
say if you get it or not. Yeah, that's yours. What do you guys got?
I'll just throw it out there. Left 4 Dead 2.
No.
Okay.
It is.
We
it
also
is-
already put out developed by Valve as a name.
Oh, that's.
Although that was
forgot about
outsourced
that.
slightly to Turtle Rock, I think, but I'd still count it as developed by Valve. It would have been fun. But yeah,
That was
It's hard
so
to
cool.
say,
Team
yeah.
Fortress 2, man. That was so
It is
smart.
not. It
Hope
is
is
not a
on
Metro
it.
game, is it?
is that your answer?
That's it.
So is it the first Metro game?
No.
Okay.
We also clarified American developers, so.
Oh, is Metro not American?
No, it's developed by. Let me check on it because I know the publisher is Deep Silver, and they usually publish for the games in Eastern Europe. I'm pretty sure it's an Eastern European game because I think they also had worked on Stalker. The
Oh,
same
okay.
people. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm broken. This is actually worse than
You guys want the answer?
Yeah,
Yes.
put us out of
Yeah.
our misery.
Mr. Medic.
See if you're catching on at any point. Ready? Published by Bethesda, developed by id Software, Rage.
Oh,
Ah,
You see,
I've actually never
honestly,
heard of. I've seen the game played a little bit, but I didn't know anything about it, so I would have been
It
screwed
was
there.
Rage.
Honestly, I at some point I was gonna ask if it was a Bethesda game because
Yeah,
I really-
that's why I said Fallout.
Yeah,
You're
so
right.
Fallout.
oh.
So, what caused the huge problem here, there, Cam? When I
All
asked
right.
about it,
Because apparently I didn't know about this, or maybe like I'm calling back to it now because my friends were hyped for the game. Apparently, it released first on iOS in 2010.
Wait, what?
Yeah, right. No, it's weird. It says right here though, released first for iOS in 2010, then later in 2011 for Windows, the PS3, and Xbox 360.
This is the game that we're getting a sequel for that nobody really
Yep.
wanted and nobody really expected.
yes, thanks to the
Which-
Canada wall.
I'm not sure why or how it could be on iOS because it was a relatively not. I mean, at the time it was a pretty.
What was
that
the
be
year
on
of release?
iPad at that point?
2011.
Our iPod Touch. or
2011.
something?
Like, oh wow.
Like that's just I mean, it's iPad, sure, but that's still bizarre. So I didn't know about that. So that's the one that's why I was like, don't pursue that line of thought because you won't
Very
figure it out.
bizarre. Well, I was screwed from the start, so I'm going to cleanse my hand from this one. I'm sorry to say, because I didn't know anything about Rage. You said it came
No,
from
that's fine.
Bethesda, really?
Rage would have never crossed my mind. I had no idea that.
Me neither.
Well,
Not
shame
even
on me. Shame on me. So
Yeah.
Cam wins this one.
Good job,
Maria.
Cam. Hey, Cam.
Yeah, good job, Cam.
I'm so proud
Maria,
of that.
you told me you were going to give Nick easy questions for the Star Fox thing, but the questions you gave me were horribly hard. Like, I was like, oh, man, I'm gonna have to
Thank
give
God I'm in Reykjavik, huh?
Nick- Oh yeah.
Oof, that's
So,
the right there.
I don't know what game you picked.
So
Hit me with one of them. Wait, if they're not getting used, let's see if we can figure them out. If they're not getting used, let's see if we can figure them out.
Are we going to use them?
I don't know because Tyler said they're too hard. Are we disqualifying the one she gave? Because I'd like to try and have a shot at it.
Oh, are you talking about the questions for the Star Fox quiz?
Yeah, because you said it was too hard, right? The
Oh,
one she
we'll
sent
be
you.
using them. Don't
Oh,
you
okay.
worry.
All right, all right.
My
Okay.
original stipulation was she's gonna have to read them out herself. That way, Nick knows it was hers. Like that was not mine. I
Right,
swear.
right.
But I told her that I would read it in her voice next week, and she's like, "I don't know how you plan on doing it." I was like, "I'll find out." Don't worry.
Well, okay, so I need to defend my point. So Star Fox is one of the few Nintendo games I've never played. Maybe like an hour or so. So I didn't really know what a hard question would be and
Oh,
what
yeah.
wouldn't be a
Good
hard
gauge.
question.
Yep.
So they are able to be found on the article, but
Fair enough.
sorry.
Okay. So you do have a game that you have in your thoughts right now, right?
Yes.
You do have the information you can access, so you know the look at it, or you have it already in your head.
Yep.
All right. Then let's pick you. I can't count worth one diddly squat bit there. However, let's pick your game. All right, let's try to figure out your game. Cam, can you go
Yep.
first, please?
Yes, I will. Okay, so I'm going to start with Tyler's question to try and get down the gap here in terms of a decade. So, is this game a game that was released between January 1st, 2000 and I'll say December 31st, 2010?
Yes.
Okay.
Welcome to the nightclub, where things might be a little bit not safe for work. If you got children around, you probably should enjoy this later. But don't worry, we'll be waiting for you.
Fuck yeah.
Within that generation, or those two generations, I would say. Because keep in mind, guys, that the 6th generation of consoles will still be in there. So that's a
See,
lot
I
of
already feel
consoles.
better. Cam's on our side now. This should be.
I know, right?
Well, that's a lot of consoles.
Sorry, Maria,
we
but,
need to
like-
determine some stuff. Do you guys want to go?
Cam, Tyler.
I got one more question. If that I think will help us. If not,
Go ahead and send it as a follow-up.
Okay. Okay.
Teamwork works here. This is
is
if
this
you
game,
want to carry us.
Is this game a console exclusive?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so non-console exclusive. You said between 2000 and 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna guess Kingdom Hearts 3. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so Nick, go ahead.
We have to start narrowing genres. Is this a game that is an RPG or has RPG-like elements?
No.
No. Okay.
Okay, that's 2.
Sorry, guys, I can't help you.
Let's see. I'm going to steal.
That's 3 actually, because of my exclusive.
Yeah,
question.
it's 3.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Did this come out on exclusively? I'm gonna steal Nick's question. Did it come
there
out
were no exclusives for console, so keep that in mind. Yep.
exclusively on a home console versus a handheld console? Like, did it come out on something that you plug into the TV versus what you hold in your hands?
No.
Yeah, that was already answered, though, I would say.
Was it?
Yeah, because I asked if it was a console exclusive.
Oh, I must have tuned you out.
Yeah.
Oops. Okay.
Well, it's okay. No, we
So
like the
back that
challenge.
one
That's
out.
fine.
Back that one out, I would say.
Okay,
I will
so
be nice, and that won't count as a question.
Yeah.
okay, I'm sorry. I was looking at everything and I was thinking, man, what swear word can I drop on this
Yeah,
one?
so it's not a console exclusive.
Okay. Well, I mean, I was talking about like a home console versus
Depends how she's handling it. I would say if I ask console, I would expect
I'd
handhelds
like
to be
home.
included in that as well as handheld consoles. But
I did include that.
Okay.
I included all consoles.
Well, I was trying to narrow it down instead of one that because you're talking about is it on one specific thing for exclusivity, and the answer is no, it was not. It was for everything. And I was asking if it was specifically, let's say, the GameCube, PS2, Xbox versus on the DS and PSP.
oh, I see. You were going.
He's trying
I was trying to go
Yeah,
exclusive on a
generation.
home console versus one that was on the handheld.
So you could also actually, if you wanted to, there's a way you can split this up in a yes or no question. Ask if it was Generation 7 or Generation 6.
That is not a yes or no question.
Oh,
or do you
sorry.
just mean pick one?
You could, if you wanted to get all the handhelds and all the consoles in one question, within a generation, that'd probably be the way to phrase that.
I'll shoot it up a little bit. Did it come out in the same generation that included the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360, and the Nintendo Wii,
Hold on, I'm just making sure my year wrote.
and the PSP?
Now, hold on, let me just get checks on everything here on
Oh, boy.
myself
I
because
feel like somebody should be keeping those now. She's more dangerous. I'm nervous now.
So, are you saying like around
Did
the
it-
same time the Xbox 360 and the PS3 released?
Did it
Can
come
I
out
say-
after November of 2006 to 2010?
oh,
Yes. Yes.
Okay. That,
okay.
watch. It came out for the PlayStation 2 because it's freaking Madden.
Okay.
Oh god, that'd be horrible.
So then the question we have now, it came out between 2006 and 2010. Is that what we have?
Yes.
Technically, yes.
Technically. Okay.
Now, Cam, you know this more than anybody. When did the Vita come out?
The Vita is not out in that period of time. So
So that was like 11 or 12 or something like that.
yeah, Vita came out 12.
Before the 4,
2012?
11 in
which was
Japan.
12.
Yeah, I think 11 and 11 in Japan, 12 in the US, I want to say.
Okay. So we know this is probably going to be either a handheld such as a 3 or a DS
A PSP
game.
or DS or
Let's see,
If we want to be careful, because at the
3DS
end of
didn't come out at this point.
Wait, can I-
2010, 3DS did, if I remember correctly. So we want to be careful.
Can I jump in? Sorry.
what's up?
I said not console exclusive. So that means
Yes,
right?
It came out on multiple consoles.
that means
Yeah.
it came out on multiple. Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to be clear because I don't want you guys to get too specific.
No, we'll
Let me
fight.
just confirm. Let me confirm the 3DS thing. So yeah, just so we're clear. Okay, never mind. We're all set. It was I was having my years 1 year back, so we're fine. It's not 3DS, so it would be either an older generation that had a later release, or it'd be on DS, PSP, Xbox 360, PS3, or Wii, or an older generation.
Yeah, well, of course Cam would know this.
I got
I'm
some
going-
bias over here. Can I work it against her?
What's up?
You got
Did it come out from the Nintendo Wii?
No.
Damn. She likes Nintendo games, I swear.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, we'll go for the start narrowing down developers. American developers. Was the game made by an American company?
I think
Yes.
publisher might actually help us to figure out. Okay, so yes,
Okay,
American
so yes, American
developer.
Yes. So
Okay.
we wanna hit up the American publisher game as well. But I feel like that's useless without knowing the genre.
Yeah, I think we should try and get the genre. We know it's not an RPG.
Or contains RPG elements.
Yeah, or contains RPG elements. Okay, so in that case, why don't we also ask the question, is this a first-person shooter?
No.
No, not a first-person shooter, not an RPG.
I don't see
It
her
says
as the behind the
third-person
pick a horror game, but I could be proven wrong.
I mean, we could ask if it's...
Let me look in your eyes, Maria.
Ooh, I got one. Is it a third-person game?
Yes.
Third person.
Okay.
So that could include over-the-shoulder survival horror. That could include third-person
Top down, if it was Animal Crossing for the DS. Cough. I don't know what kind of games you like, but if I had to take a guess, I was looking at your Funko Pops in your mirror back there.
Oh, you can see them?
Yes, I was trying to do cross comparisons here to what games you could possibly be playing. I know.
Well, these are all Overwatch, so...
That's very true. Unfortunately, Overwatch didn't come out at this time,
right?
But we know it was...
That'd be too easy.
Let's see. We didn't rule out PC either. So PC could eventually also be in the era too. Let's
try and get the genre. I think it's important to figure out what genre it is using our questions right now, because I can work from there, no problem, I think.
Okay. Let's see.
It's a third-person game. The camera angle. I mean, that could be survival horror. That could be third-person shooter. That could be a racing game. I got a question. That could be.
Does it have voice in it?
Is it voice acted?
Is there voice acting in it?
Yes.
Okay. So more than likely, it probably wouldn't be something that would be on a handheld either. That would also give us the idea that it was something a little bit higher budget.
Well, the thing that's tough there is would you consider, I mean, clarification point, but would you consider voice acting like if a character made a noise that had to be recorded? Because like a good example being like if this was a Mario Kart game, right?
Say, or
wahoo, or if they go wahoo, is that a voice acting? I would say so.
Well, I wish I could stipulate it to saying complete sentences now, but...
I mean, if you need clarification.
I'd ask for it.
If you want to give us clarification on that as a mercy move, I'm talking about like all the lines, if there's text on the thing, the character says it completely aloud.
Yes.
Or, okay.
Yes.
Okay. You know what?
Third person... Character lines are read, not on Nintendo Wii. Sounds a lot like Kingdom Hearts.
Developed by an American developer, you said.
Mm-hmm.
Let me check.
Okay. Square Enix is out. Bye.
Let me check something. If you guys have another question in the meantime, I have a theory.
Sure.
Can I ask you something? Is this published by Electronic Arts?
No.
Okay.
How many questions are we at?
I have no idea.
You're at I got them all written down here.
11.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 10.
So if it's third person, that means theoretically we would be able to see the character then. That's another question I'd like to ask, if you can see the character, because that would...
yes.
I mean, third person would, I think,
mostly.
That. Like, I mean, if there's no character to see, how could it be third person?
That's
true.
What I think,
Yeah, we don't need to use that there, I don't think.
Well, I mean, it could be... What would it be if there's no character, but you're just moving stuff around like Bejeweled? That be third person?
No, that wouldn't be a person. That'd be like an isometric.
Omnipresent?
Would say. We call it probably isometric if it was from a
isometric. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just curious.
So I still feel like we need to narrow down the genre.
We need genre.
Is it a third-person shooter?
No.
Okay. That helps.
I hate to use another question on this, but I'm thinking okay. So it's not a third-person shooter, so we can then invalidate, not even say it's a third-person game and it's not a shooter. So it's not a shooter.
So it could be. So it could be really.
Wait. Well, let me clarify. I mean, it's not classified as a third-person shooter, but
but it might contain it.
Is there third-person shooting action?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So the main thing of the game is not using shooting weapons. But there are some instances of weapons that
like
can
Assassin's Creed or something like that, or bow shooting, maybe.
Could even be God of War, actually. The third.
Well, yes, it is American developer, so we have to keep that in mind. That would be Sony Santa Monica, so that's an option.
Yeah.
Who made Shadow of the Colossus?
That would be Team Ico, I think.
Team Ico is definitely Japan, right?
Yeah, that's a Japanese. That's a Japanese stable.
Just want to make sure.
Yep. We could go for, considering let's get also down to publishers here since we honed in on a genre. So it's American. And
wait, did we hone in on genre?
We just know that we have. Yes, it is a third-person game that has shooter elements, so that helps us.
That makes it sound like an action-adventure game, then, probably.
It's definitely an action.
It's definitely an action-adventure game, most likely.
Flash.
Yeah.
Or
ask.
Galgun or something like that.
Well, no, American company can't be Galgun.
Thank God.
I would
Thank
smell
God.
if it was Galgun.
So it is also, I'll give you guys a hint. It is technically classified as something else, though, as genre-wise.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not really a third-person adventure
right.
shooter.
Is
It's
it-
classified as something else.
Should we assume it as an action or adventure then for our sake, or should we?
Can I just ask this?
Yeah.
Is it classified as a horror game?
No.
Okay.
I mean, not too much left unless, mystery, maybe, I guess, puzzle.
I mean, we still haven't asked if it's action adventure. I feel like we can assume that safely or somewhat safely.
Yeah.
There might be some more obscure options that don't have that as an option, but we're at yes, it's a third-person game with shooter elements, not a horror game, not EA. Yes, voice acting, full sentences. It's a third-person game by an American developer, not on the Wii. So, no RPG elements. That's a big one too. So, I'm trying to think of how many third-person action-y games are there these days, or around that period of time, without. Can I ask you a question? Did this came out after 2006? No, that wouldn't work really.
No, because we already know that.
Yeah, I was just thinking if it was a GameCube game, but it's after 2006, so I doubt it.
I mean, PS2 is a possibility for the long haul, but I feel like that'd be kind of rough.
Borderline GameCube is a possibility, but
I mean, the last game that I remember coming out for the GameCube was Twilight Princess.
I think
that came out with the release of the Wii.
I think we need to. Unfortunately, we don't have many questions yet, but I think we need to know a publisher. And
I'm in the opposite boat. It's like I want to know the console.
That helps too. If we know the console, that helps too. But there's still too many in the span of time. We have to take a blind shot in the dark, pretty much.
We got 3 consoles that we can really focus on, unless it's a handheld.
Right, unless it's a handheld, but it could
PS2, 360, or PC.
But it could be a handheld, so it could be 360, PC,
How many questions do we have
PS2, DS or PSP. Sorry, PS.
Probably like 7.
Probably, yeah. Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I think we're at 12 or 13 right now. I might have forgot to write down something, so we've got like 7 left.
What game most likely would have a game that has third-person shooting elements?
I would say, honestly, this is.
I mean, PS2 kind of focuses on it.
It's not a.
Or sorry, PS3.
Oh, okay, so I was thinking. I'll put it this way, guys. A lot of Sony games are off the table because we know it's not a console exclusive. So a lot of Sony games are off the table.
That's true, because I was just thinking of Uncharted.
It can't be Uncharted, right?
Yeah,
it can't be a Naughty Dog game. Can't be most Naughty Dog games. God, third-person game with shooting. Not a horror game. Third person. Yes, has shooting elements. Not EA. Is this a platformer?
Can you explain a platformer better?
So, yes, is it like a sort of action platformer type game, basically, where you're a character and you're trying to solve puzzles and platform like over ledges using jumps and that sort of thing?
Not really.
Okay.
You're not jumping from one level to another, Maria?
I actually was thinking, since we're talking about 2006, I was thinking maybe more of the later, like Jak and Daxter, Crash Bandicoot, things like that.
That's another good one.
But no.
Shoot, I'm terrible at these. Yeah.
I like this. This is good time for me. Holy shit.
Wait, did Jak and Daxter come from a American-made studio?
Yeah, Jak and Daxter is Naughty Dog.
Well, no, wait. Naughty Dog is Crash. Is Jak and Daxter also Naughty Dog, or is that
Yes. Naughty Dog did Jak and Daxter from 01 to 13.
Okay, so Insomniac is Sly Cooper, right?
Sly Cooper and Ratchet and Clank.
Okay, all right. So, could we? No, it's not really a platformer, so Sly Cooper would probably be out. Not a horror game. Ooh, yeah.
But we'd have to eliminate Jak and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank because they only ever came out on Sony consoles.
True.
Yep. We eliminate that. But yeah, that was the area I was thinking.
Right. It could be Tomb Raider, but having said that, it's not a platformer. Like Tomb Raider Underworld came out 2007.
Remember, guys, we're thinking really heavily on guns right here.
I
And
need
there's still a
publisher.
possibility about other projectiles.
I know. That's why I was thinking about Crash and that sort of thing. There's like a more goofy projectile. I need a publisher, I feel. And to get that, I'm gonna have to ask. There's a couple big ones I can eliminate right away if we want to.
I was hoping for a snipe right here.
Oh, do you have a snipe? Go for it.
Yes. Was this game developed or published by Ubisoft?
No.
Okay.
Damn.
The only reason I didn't ask that is because I know they generally do more European games.
True.
But, oh man. Okay. Well, if EA's out, Ubisoft's out. I don't think, given all of this, it has no RPG elements, so it's probably not going to be a Bethesda game.
No.
There's so many smaller studios you could go to at this point. American games aren't my specialty, you know? It's tough.
Oh, really?
Conquer
I didn't notice.
guy.
Live and Reloaded for the Xbox 360, made
You gonna
by
ask?
Rare.
Are you gonna
No,
ask
I'm not saying that. I'm just
I was
making
gonna say,
funny
well, Rare,
suggestions.
I think Rare's UK based anyways, but
Is it?
yeah, I think so.
Oh, all right, fair enough. It makes sense. They have one of the best.
we got a lot of things here. There's a mystery. Like I'm looking at all this, and there's got to be an answer here. Because
Yeah, there
I
is.
think
But
we're
got
in.
6 questions or so.
I think we're honestly in far enough, right? It came out after 2006. It's not on the Wii. It's not an RPG. It has third-person shooting elements. Not a horror game. Not by EA. Not by Ubisoft.
Wait. I have something. I think.
What are you doing? You're looking on a computer screen there, Nick. Are you
I'm just-
cheating?
No, I'm just looking up games and timelines for reference.
Yeah.
What the heck, Nick?
Nobody. I haven't been doing it, but nobody said that wasn't allowed, right?
That's
All right,
fair.
because I'm like Cam and I'm supposed to know dates and numbers off the top of my head.
That's messed up. All right, we gotta speed this up. Does anybody got any more questions then?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, we can ask. I was
I
just
have-
trying to.
I have-
force
I have
perspective.
one very specific question.
Okay,
Sure.
what is it?
Is it a MOBA?
No,
Not a MOBA.
Okay,
That would have been.
that was good, but no.
that would have been Warcraft 3, I guess. Time.
I think that it would have been too early for a lot of MOBAs.
League of Legends
that would-
came out in 2009.
Oh wow.
I mean, yeah, that's true. But I don't think there's any third-person shooting in that. I mean, I guess you
depends on
count
the
it as
characters.
like
Guys,
Top
hold on.
down?
There's a question we've totally been missing. What
Yes, sir.
publisher have we not talked about? Guys, is this an Activision Blizzard game?
Yes.
you gotta be kidding me.
Of course.
There's only so many third-person shooting.
That narrowed you down big time.
Oh, yeah.
Diablo. Well,
Don't guess. There's RPG mechanics in Diablo.
I'm just saying out loud. If I say is it something, that's me posing. I'm just suggesting stuff out loud
Yeah,
first.
yeah. Okay.
Diablo could be one. Blackthorn. What is Blackthorn?
Now I did say, I said I'm gonna err on the side of I said Activision Blizzard, and she
You
said
think
yes,
it
so it
might
has
be
to be
more
Blizzard
Activision?
related. No, I was just gonna say it has to be Blizzard related because she said yes to that, so it can't be solo Activision. Has to be Activision.
No RPG
Blizzard.
elements, so that means it
No
can't
RPG
be WoW.
elements. It can't be WoW.
Diablo.
Diablo.
It can't be Hearthstone because it's third person. It can't be Heroes of the Storm because no MOBA.
It has to have some
well, I
sort of
mean-
shooter mechanics.
So I'm thinking of maybe StarCraft.
Yeah.
Dark.
Ooh, it was StarCraft.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh,
nice. I
wow.
would say that has RPG mechanics though.
Do you think so?
Definitely.
I didn't
Yeah.
really think so.
I mean, no, it's not.
Level
Well,
up. There's
there's
level up of
role-playing.
Oh,
it's real-time strategy. I would say more
Yeah,
like.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's an
primarily,
RTS.
yes.
So
When I
I
hear no
avoided
RPG
asking
mechanic-
about Activision Blizzard just because I felt like that would be too obvious of a.
that's why I
went for
picked it.
'Cause I was like, oh look, we didn't get there
That's
yet.
smart.
Yeah.
Vicious. Holy crap. We
No.
lost, we lost so much time trying to figure that one. Oh my god.
So the only reason I said no to the RPG elements is because there's really no like item collecting as far as keeping an inventory and things as like that. That's kind of what
No, I
I
understand.
take
Yeah,
as an
no.
RPG.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
It's usually
Yeah.
when I say RPG mechanics and I hear no, like what I think of is okay, there's no at all
Oh,
like
okay.
level up, no any sort of, progression system, that sort of thing. Well, at least a progression system that's not just like I picked up an item, you know
Got
what I
it.
mean?
Okay.
Like in an old
Okay.
action game. But
So we have the first game.
Got it.
Cam, what was the first game?
the
Yours.
first game was Rage, and you guys did not get it.
Yes,
No.
and then we had StarCraft by Maria, which by the grace of Nick, we did manage to get.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Good job on the question, by the way.
Yeah, that was
Good
good.
job, guys.
You had us
Oh.
running around in circles. Man.
I enjoy
was great.
that.
I
That's a fun
know.
game.
I was pretty proud.
It
I
was
thought you guys would get it pretty quickly.
that was no good job. I told you, you're vicious. You're like tee hee hee as you shoot a bazooka. So that segment, great as it was for us personally, was so long. I'm going to murder this rumor that I have in the news topic. If
Oh,
that
is it the
okay.
rumor that I could go off on? Is that
if,
one?
if you want to go real quick,
Yeah, I'll go real quick. And what I'll say is there's a rumor that Switch is getting a pro upgrade that it's going to scale to 4K and have exclusive games from third party. And for many reasons that I could go through 20 minutes about, that's total bunk and no way ever. So that's
The,
my answer.
the subscription where they would be renting out an Xbox.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the other rumor. That one's like confirmed at this point.
Okay, well,
Yeah. There was a Switch
and an announcement
with the hardware upgrade, with all the stuff coming out from Gamescom. I thought that's the one you were talking about too.
Me too.
The Microsoft thing is kind of like
right now.
guaranteed.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Because the Switch rumor, I thought you were putting the Switch rumor in there because I went off when I went on Quest for Pixels. I went off on it, and I went off it again at Into the Video Game. So I thought you threw that in there just to let me go wild. But I do want to cover the Xbox thing if that's okay.
Sure.
Yeah. So what's going on there with the Xbox thing is Xbox or Microsoft has this idea now that there's, I would say, is like all but an official announcement, but every major publication's picked it up, all but confirmed, pretty much confirmed, I would say. This is happening unless they back out at the last minute. What they're doing is bundling together Xbox Live Gold, Game Pass, and a console as a subscription service. So for $23 a month, you will get an Xbox One S, you'll get Xbox Live and Game Pass. And the idea is you basically pay into that for 2 years. You can stop if you want to. And once 2 years have passed, you own the console. Now you can also do this with an Xbox One X for $35 a month. And there's a lot here that we can play with in terms of looking forward. I personally think this is a really cool, experimental, really interesting idea. And it might be something that's a test bed for next generation. That's my conspiracy theory on that. But yeah, that's where we're at.
Now,
I mean, it's actually, but it's essentially the same thing as a phone contract, right? You go on a 2-year or 3-year contract with your service provider, but here instead you're getting an Xbox, and at the end of the 2 or 3 years or whatever, you own the Xbox.
I was just going to ask Maria and Cam specifically. Sorry, Nick. Have you guys? I know, right? Have you guys ever had any experience or remember the times where we could rent whole consoles, like during the Nintendo 64 days? Yep. Typically from Family Video, if you remember correctly. They had that kind of stuff.
Blockbuster did a little bit too.
I remember from Blockbuster. Yeah.
This whole concept was mind blowing that they brought something that hasn't happened since the late 90s. It's like, wow, they're gonna trust, this is Rent-A-Center level shit going on right here. And they're like, hey, we're gonna let you rent this console at a premium, but it's still pretty reasonable, and we're gonna give it to you if you commit to it, hopefully. And I thought that was really cool. And you dropped that bomb on me, you're like, holy shit, Xbox is gonna be rentable, the whole system, the whole thing. $7, $10 more or something like that than just the gold.
Well, here's the thing that's really powerful about it is, so for one, I think a new Xbox One S around right now is around $230, $250. So you're paying $23 a month, right? Keep that in mind. The Xbox Live Gold, I think it's $9.99 a month or something, or maybe even $6.99. I don't remember. But Games Pass is $9.99 a month. So all of that together makes for a pretty good deal. And the scary thing about this bundle too is Xbox Game Pass service is very, very strong. They pretty much put new games on release on that subscription service. So any new games that they put out, you're getting right away. And I've actually played around with it a ton. It has a huge backlog of games. It's basically like a Netflix. I would say, for Xbox games. And they're adding
the Master Chief Collection to it soon.
Yep.
Actually,
having that all included in one package with just an Xbox is pretty much just a go ahead for, do you want to enter console gaming? Here you go.
You're right. It's an all-in-one. That's amazing.
I do have one comment about this whole article. Very, very much a big dick play by Microsoft.
Big dick energy coming very strong from this.
People need to not sleep on Microsoft right now. They got big dick energy all over the place. Microsoft's making plays like crazy, and nobody, I feel like, is respecting them for it. They really deserve a lot more respect for this, and Sony should be worried, because going into next generation, Microsoft's in an advantageous position with what they've announced so far. So Sony's got to get worried.
It seems really fantastical, though, just the idea, the concept. Do you think they're going to have enough systems to meet the demand? Because I feel like this could take a very long time to meet everybody.
Yeah.
This is Microsoft we're talking about. Keep in mind, so they have as much money as they want to have. That's something we've talked about quite a lot, where if they want to win, they will. Well, they will. They'll just buy everyone out. Actually, we saw them do at E3 where they bought, 4 companies and then made a 5th, where they can just throw as much money as they want into things. With Phil Spencer now as the vice president of Microsoft, his pull is going to be much stronger. And Matt Booty is the guy running Xbox now. But so it's a crazy idea. And going to next generation, I could even see it being a test bed. My theory, and I actually think my theory was dulled a bit because another announcement came out right afterwards where they said we're very much still interested in physical sales and still interested in subscription services being a side thing and not the traditional mainstay. Because the theory I was kind of working with, and I won't say it's completely out of the realm of possibility, is that with the next series of consoles, we already know Microsoft's probably making two, and one's going to be a stream box, one's going to be a high-end console. So I was looking at it and saying, okay, hey, what if the stream box is a subscription service where you get the box, you get all these games and all that sort of thing? Because they're building an architecture here. And especially now, I'm asking myself over and over, just from like the analytical perspective, I'm asking myself, why did they make the Xbox One X? And I think it ties into all this. I think there's a connection here. Like if we have to connect the map and the dots and all the lines, I think there's a connection. I really do.
Big question right here. Do you think they're putting out new consoles or refurbished for this? You think they're sending out ones that got returned, that got warranted or something like they fixed and they're crapping them out?
They would have to let us know, but refurbished would be a smart move. They're sitting there. They're often in good quality. They look like new. It'd be a smart move.
And also by the time the 2-year contract ends, the next gen would already be out.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
So the value of the console would have deprecated.
Oh yeah. But I have some conspiracies. We can talk about it another time. But yeah.
Oh, I love conspiracies. That's post show. Nick, did you have something you wanted to say before I rudely cut you off?
Well, I mean, we do that all the time, but
yes, very much. We're like swords and clash.
I can't remember. Oh no, I was gonna say, Camp said, "Oh, the Xbox One X. Why did they make it? There has to be a connection." I'm like, well, think about all the teraflops.
Yeah, all those teraflops. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, that was a joke I was gonna make, but it's kind of moment's gone. Thanks, Tyler.
There's more flops there than a John Kerry speech, man. Anyways.
So long story short, here's the thing. I'm not going to go into the full conspiracy. All I want to say is I'm starting to get the feeling that the reason the Xbox One X was created was because they're experimenting with building off the back of architecture that's still backwards compatible to make something stronger. And I think that has implications for the stream box, which was said not a traditional stream box. It was going to have some processing power of its own. And is going to be a high-end console. So I'm starting to get the idea that I think they're just building on top of Xbox going forward, and everything will be backwards compatible. Everything's going to be based on maybe this Xbox One core, even where even the stream box might have similar power to an Xbox One. We need to see what we're doing there, but I think the Xbox One X was an experiment. I think there's a reason for it besides just to sell this VIP console.
All right, fair enough. Anything else on this one before we shoot on to the next topic?
All set.
All right, next one's a little bit not as intense, but maybe intense depending on how big of a Pokemon fan you are. And there's a couple in here. So this Monday, so as soon as this podcast comes out, Nintendo has nothing to do with this. However, Twitch, well, I mean, Nintendo's probably like casting a blind eye or giving like behind the scenes support, I guess.
Like third in stake in this, maybe maybe math. I was going to say they're third of a half.
Twitch is going to be a popular topic in the next 20 minutes or so. However, Twitch is going to be doing something interesting Monday, aka today for the podcast listeners. They're going to be streaming every single Pokemon episode and movie that there is available from the beginning. I'm assuming they're going to put the movies in between like the rate sections. I would like to think so, because I wouldn't want to go through a whole movie special, because that'd be quite the jump. And I don't remember what the number was, but there was, I believe, something around 700 Pokemon episodes that they could stream in a row.
So there's over 1,000 Pokemon episodes. Discounting Sun and Moon, I think we're still at like 900 or something like that.
Okay, so some incredulous amount. I mean, I couldn't tell you how many hours that is.
Too many.
But
it's going to
too many
be
hours.
2019.
Yeah. And it does say here in the article it's going to continue. Yeah, so as Cam just said, continue 2019. So they're probably going to break it up into maybe 24, 36-hour marathons. I think that would be the smart thing to do.
Very smart thing, because we want to live.
Yes.
And so if you're interested in starting the watch of that, like I said, it's going to be on Monday. Look out for Twitch. Twitch is going to have it. And wow, that's a lot of Pokemon.
Yeah, I would say, I think actually, you guys can correct me on this, because I know Twitch has done stuff like this before, but I think they actually just run it 24/7 in these cases.
Yeah.
In which case, don't even try to watch all of it, because you have to sleep.
They do that. They've done that a couple of times with... I never watched this because I didn't grow up in North America, but Bob Ross's show, the painting show, they did that a couple of times with his show. They've done that with Doctor Who. Yep. They've done that with, they had a Sailor Moon marathon, I believe.
Nice.
Or it might have been another anime, but they do a couple of anime marathons.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. So there's that. We're gonna slip on over to the topic of the show, which is gonna be a little bit shorter. I'd like to think we're just gonna cover it. It's essentially also a news article, but one I wanted to give a very strong importance. However, it's also been very well covered by almost every other podcast and their mother. Even if it's not technically video game related, there's still some points here that has some good connections to video games. Topic of the show is actually going to be Amazon and their benefits that are coming our way with Amazon Prime. So, Amazon Prime, I have it. I'm assuming Cam has it.
Yep, of course.
I have it.
Do you have it as well?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so we all have Amazon Prime, so we are all affected by this. There's a couple of good things. One of the biggest things, and people really loved Amazon for this, is when they pre-order the game, it usually came around, for the American people, mind you, I'm so sorry, Nick, $48.
Yeah.
That's 20% off. Obviously, a little bit taxi in there, but $48 out, instead of a $60 game, very tempting. Whereas GameStop is like, hey, we're going to give you this cool poster or DLC for horse armor that you never care for.
Yeah.
It's not exactly always appealing versus having $12 extra in your pocket. However, things are going to be changing for those who get their subscription to Amazon Prime monthly, which is apparently is a thing. I didn't know that. I thought it because when I was getting it, it was yearly only.
Yeah.
And for those who are getting a monthly, the effect I believe is going to be taking on September 15th or something like that. However, it's going to have the absolute effect for those who are just, getting the first taste of it August 27th, also this Monday. So while they distract you with Pokemon, they're going to take away your 20% off all video games that you pre-order. Instead, they're going to give you a $10 credit. Now, that's only a $2 difference if you think about it, but that's still $2 that you could have saved. That might change a little bit.
And I would clarify too, they specifically said $10 on select games. I have an idea for what that means.
Ooh. Give me a thought here. Pitch me a theory here.
Yep. So it's not even really so much as a theory as so much as what I expect very, very, heart strongly, I would say, is we already lost, throughout time, this discount has gone down in time. So originally everything, even in the first 2 weeks of a game's release, was 20% off. And then they made it so remasters and ports were not included. Special editions were not included. Just the new games themselves will have that off. And then some obscure games kind of had it drop as well. So what I fully expect is it's actually just going to be a $10 credit for the most AAA of AAA games. So you're going to pre-order Spider-Man, cool, you'll get that credit. You're going to try and grab Galgun 2, nah. You're going to try. I mean, I don't know how obscure it's going to go, but probably the big exclusives, you'll have the $10 credit, but I expect AA games, I expect some third parties to not get that deal very, very heavily, because the reality of the situation is that Amazon has lost all competition with video game discounts, so they don't need to offer anything. They're going to try and mitigate this. They're going to try and roll this back as much as possible.
Suddenly, DLC for horse armor and posters don't seem so bad over at GameStop.
No, they don't.
Best Buy is taking a dump as well recently, so it's like Best Buy can't hold up. Amazon's starting to lose their grip, and suddenly GameStop is like, we're still here, guys.
Yeah, well, funny enough, 3 weeks ago, Best Buy, a little more than 3 weeks ago, Best Buy stopped their Gamers Club thing, which was a similar thing, 20% off new games once you buy the membership. And
right.
Amazon UK 3 weeks ago also dropped their discount. When that happened, we reported on it, and I actually said back then, about 3 weeks ago, this is a test bed, this is coming to us, it's only a matter of time. I didn't expect that amount of time to be 3 weeks. And so here it is. And the reason this is happening, honestly, is just because nobody's offering a discount anymore. Because Best Buy was their big competition for that. Nobody's offering games below $60 now new. So they don't need to. There's no reason for them to. They have a corner of the market already. They're like, why would we offer a discount, right? Not smart business sense to even do it. But now, GameStop's much more appealing for me because I'm a physical collector. I buy physicals and I want retail stores to still exist. So I'm going to be taking my business to GameStop. I've said that for a while. My Amazon Prime's probably getting discontinued.
I totally understand. And I want to do some clarification. The pre-order effect date is August 28th for this next section here, because apparently they're doing different dates for this. Very interesting. September 14th. So in about 2 weeks. Prime members are not going to be able to enjoy ad-free viewing anymore on Twitch. They're going to see everything unless you very specifically give your one-time Twitch subscription to this person. So if you're not Twitch affiliate and you just want to support the little guys, congratulations. You're going to enjoy fun ads that they don't want you to see. It's going to just plaster everything, which is horrific in my eyes.
Yep. Time to get to affiliate in the next week.
And for those who have subscriptions right now, they'll give them 1 month of mercy, September to October 15th instead of September 14th. And if you're very smart and you get it by the year, it will keep giving you completely ad-free experience as the license would, since you paid for a year, you'd have to continue to agree to that year-long fee. And so if you let's say get September 13th, you decide to get a year-long subscription, you'd still get a year-long of ad-free viewing.
Yeah.
So that is another possibility. And that sucks.
Yeah.
It really sucks.
Really does.
I mean, I understand advertising is very important. However, I would like to think that the money that they're making already still, I think Bevos is still making a lot of money right now.
Oh yeah, just a tiny bit maybe.
I believe, wasn't he currently the most rich person alive right now as like a U.S. businessman?
There might be like a Saudi prince that edges him out, but he's one of them.
Wait, did I say Bezos or Bevos? I don't remember.
Bezos, yeah.
Bezos. Okay. So he is filthy rich, but apparently since we want to give free money by Amazon's dime to our favorite people, they're going to make it back in a different form by getting ad revenue. So wonderful. I mean, ad revenue as well as getting personal information to sell is probably one of the biggest ways that an online site can make money. So I mean, it makes sense that they want to, I would say 50 to 100% completely increase in money making right there, but dang.
Hey guys, remember how last week we were talking about how Twitch would have to make a massive mistake to allow Steam TV to gain traction?
Oh,
silver
boy.
platter. It's not big enough, but it'll help.
I'm gonna play the devil's advocate here. I spend a lot of time in the Twitch community as a lurker, as a bystander, looking at all the top streamers, at their thoughts and reactions to all the changes that have happened in the last year or so. Not a lot of people are against this.
Really, I've seen quite the opposite in articles. I saw a bunch of people like turning off their own ads and stuff like that in protest.
Okay, I will rephrase this. There are a lot of streamers that understand the effect of ads on their channel. So I do follow a bunch of streamers who have ads turned on for people who are not subscribed to their channel, regardless of whether it's Twitch Prime or a regular subscription. I'm part of the community of a lot of channels who have ads just turned off, just all across the board. Where my problem lies with this, where a lot of streamers have an issue with this, and I agree, is the fact that a lot of this ad revenue is not being shared with them. Because it's being forced onto the viewers who are like Twitch Prime subscribers or just regular viewers. But all in all, really, Twitch is making a lot of money. It's about. They're pretty much on the level. No, it's not you. I'm just trying to articulate my words. They're pretty much on the level of a network, cable network or whatever, ABC, NBC, whatever you name it, right? The fact that they're able to do Pokemon marathons, the fact that they're able to have a person like Ninja on their site. Ninja brought in 600,000 concurrent viewers in one night. It was about time that this happened, and the fact that people who frequent sites like this are not paying attention, it's their fault entirely for having, at least that's how I feel. So it's their fault entirely for having such adverse reactions. It's not the greatest, but it's kind of like, well,
we
really
hate change.
How you hate change, but then if you're not paying attention, like, really,
what you're saying is like this is if we were to compare it to other networks, this is to be expected because it's most.
This is to be expected, yeah. So I spend my mornings scrolling through Facebook, and then I'll find a video, I'll open that video, and then I do the thing on my phone where you scroll down to the more related videos.
YouTube
does it. This only happened about 2 weeks ago, where I realized, holy shit, there are ads in between these videos. I'm not watching these videos anymore, right? I only started getting them recently, and also thankfully I'm in Canada. I don't actually get a lot of ads. So I that's probably another reason why I don't really see much of a problem with it. But if anybody who's not paying attention, those are the people who are upset by this.
Yeah, I don't think, like, personally ads aren't I won't see an ad and fly into a blind rage. I don't care. I'll just wait for it to be over and skip it. Like, I'm not turned away by ads. But I do share the concern that, like, if they are turning this on for everybody, right? Because people can turn ads on and off for themselves. And I assume, I don't know too much about the Twitch monetization structure, but I assume if they turn it on themselves, some of that revenue does come towards them. So in this case, I doubt it is coming towards them. That's going straight to Twitch.
No, because it's being forced straight from Twitch.
Right. So they're pretty much just cutting that source of revenue out for streamers as well. So
are we certain on the...
Sorry. That's the part that I think is unfair about it. I mean, I'm like you guys, like, I don't mind seeing an ad, even if it's like a little much, like excessive ads. I mean, to an extent, but I think it's unfair, the reason behind it, just to pull in more revenue for themselves, and that's it. That's what I find unfair.
I mean, let's be real. If they give us any like heartfelt reason, would we believe them?
No, I wouldn't. Because it's a business decision. You know, businesses have to operate a certain way. They have to be beholden to their shareholders. It's something we talk about a lot of times with like decisions that are questionable that are made by EA and things like that. And it's like, well, the unfortunate reality is it's working for them financially, and that's why they're doing it. So we have to keep that in mind. But I think that, like, at least my perspective has always been that, like, that's something we can recognize. That's something that the companies do that we recognize, we understand, we know why that works. But we can also be advocates for consumers, or advocates for the streamers, or advocates for the watchers, and say we don't like that negative change that affects us. And that's usually the perspective I come at when I'm talking about this sort of thing. So that's just where I stand.
Okay, fair enough. Let's see, any last thoughts on this before we shut this case? As love it, hate it?
Yeah, I actually had one thing to say.
Yes.
I'm glad I'm a student because I get Amazon Prime for $30 a year.
They still think I'm a student. Hey.
I miss those days. I'm not a student anymore. I miss those days.
So unlike Cam here, who uses, or like, I don't know how many of you use your Amazon Prime for video games, but I really use mine to get my power bank like the next day, or my toothbrush heads to come in the next day.
Yeah.
I just do video games.
I'll say Prime Pantry for me for the most part. There was one time I sent, I believe, $100 worth of toilet paper to my roommate. It was very entertaining because he told me he has two roommates, or during the time, two roommates, a father, and they loved burning through toilet paper like it was, an infinite commodity. Yeah. And so they consistently run out. No one wants to buy it, and they're like, no more toilet paper. I guess I'm gonna have to sit in the shower and do the shame. It's like, no. So meanwhile, I can't do anything. I can't buy and give it to him because he lives in a completely different state. Amazon, Mr. Bezos himself, he's like, no, sir, that will not do. If you at least fill this box up, I will send it to you, your friend, and I will rescue him myself. And oh, and behold, I sent that man $100 worth of toilet paper, enough to fill up from the floor to the wall on both sides of the toilet. And they did not complain about running out of toilet paper for at least 2 weeks.
Nice.
2 weeks.
I don't know.
I use
Buckeyes.
I use Amazon Prime almost exclusively for video games,
that's right.
so I can afford to use it, to lose it basically, and sometimes like headphones once a year. But the real strong train to get on is start looking at AliExpress. That's the real strong train.
Oh yeah, okay.
Everything's $1. Listen, I'm just saying, e-packets from China only take 12 days to get here, and they're free. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it takes 3 weeks to get to Canada, so I don't know. What
it takes at least 1 day for it to fall off the back of the truck.
All right.
Okay.
Look, lose like $1.
Smart move. We got game releases this week, quite a bit this time around. Coming out on the 28th, which I believe is Tuesday. I believe that's the case. Yes,
Sounds
Tuesday.
right,
AKA tomorrow. We have Little Dragon's Cafe coming out for PS4 and Switch.
Ooh.
I've actually seen some people stream it already.
This has made some waves, actually.
This is apparently going to be something popular. However, another one that's going to be big for some people, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate coming out for the Switch, also on the 28th.
Oh yeah. Not for me though, actually. So funny enough, I'm not grabbing it. Yeah, because I just put 230 hours in Monster Hunter World like a few months ago, and there's too much coming out. Here's the thing: it's like it's too big of a game for me to put the time into, considering our fall release schedule is starting. And once that starts, like especially with all my other groups and stuff, we have to pretty much split up games between us, because there'll be like 8 that come out every 2 weeks, and it's like, all right, you take this and this, I'll take this and this, so we can cover everything. So it's going to be that point in time. I know I'm actually going to be doing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, so like I'm going to do that and a couple other things I'm not going to have time. So
totally respect that.
It's great though. It's super great. I talked about it a little bit actually on last episode here on Casual Master Quest. So if you want to hear that, I think it was last episode we talked about it. So
I believe you.
Yeah.
Pro Evolution Soccer 2019 coming out on Xbox One and PC. Nick has some strong, very educated responses.
It sucks.
Yeah?
FIFA's better.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a fight between FIFA and Pro Evolution Soccer. I know the one up that Pro Evolution Soccer had, it had a really robust like AI. You can mod things in and pit teams against.
Maybe a century ago, but now it sucks.
I was gonna say, just having your experience with FIFA, I know you know a little bit because of where you've been. So I was waiting for that.
A blood feud over here, jeez. Let's see, got quite a few games coming out for the 28th, so I'll let you know if it changes. Yakuza Kiwami, which is, I believe, Japanese for Extreme 2.
Yeah, it's Yakuza Kiwami 2. Yeah.
Yakuza 2's essentially a port, remake, whatever you want to call it, coming out on the PS4. Strange Brigade, I have not heard of this game, coming out for PS4, Xbone, and PC.
Yeah, Strange Brigade is, I actually had it pitched to me by a friend of mine, and I guess the idea is like 1920s era, like The Mummy, if like in terms of aesthetic, and there I think you're not tomb raiding, but I think you're actually like third person or maybe even first person shooting, going through and like fighting supernatural creatures. I might be a little off. I just got sold on the idea of, they told me it was like Mummy era and Mummy aesthetic, basically, in terms
Mummy era. That I feel like that might have a large range depending on how you do it.
I mean like The Mummy, so we're talking Brendan Fraser and that sort of thing, like that,
okay,
that sort of dress, the time period.
97 or something like that.
Was that 97? I thought it was in the 1920s.
Oh no, I'm talking about like when it actually came out,
no,
like the
I'm
movie.
talking about the period from in the movie. That sort of aesthetic is what they were going for with Strange Brigade.
No, you're right. It's somewhere around that time. Okay, Blade Strangers coming out PS4, Switch, PC.
This is a really big mashup fighting game. So there's a few that are coming out recently, so I might be mixed up on who's in what, but I think this is a bunch of like indie game characters and stuff are in this game. So I think, God, is Shovel Knight in this? There's like, the problem is there's like
Shovel Knight is everything.
This.
So
no, that's
Shovel Knight is indeed in this. They've got characters from Code of Princess, Cave Story, Umihara Kawase, Lena. There's one original character. Her name's Lena. Binding of Isaac, Azure Striker, Gunvolt. Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say, because there's like 3 or 4 mashup indie fighting games coming out, so I was trying to pit. All right, who's in what and where? So,
all right. Donut County, PS4, PC, iOS.
Yep, I played this at PAX.
Is it good?
If I'm remembering it correctly, this is the game where you play as a whole, and you have to kind of move under stuff and absorb it, basically. And I think it's like a Katamari Damacy function, where you kind of get bigger as you absorb more. So I think that's how it functions, if I'm remembering that one right.
Let's see, The Blob 2 remastered, coming out for Switch. Now, The Blob I recognize as a Wii title specifically, and obviously The Blob 2. So that's coming out on the 28th. That is the last game coming out on Tuesday. Coming out on the 30th for the Switch, Freedom Planet.
Ooh, wow. Okay, that's late.
Is it?
That's a little bit. I think Freedom Planet came out in like 2016 or early 2017 or something like that. I was following it for a bit. It was on my Steam wish list. It's it's an action platformer. It definitely takes inspiration from Sonic and the other sort of like, anthropomorphic animal mascot platformer game, fast platformer game creatures. So it was pretty good, I heard. I've just no physicals, so I was like, nah, not for me.
Divinity Original Sin 2. This sounds like a game you've heard of.
That's a big one, dude. Yeah,
that's okay. I was gonna say, I have no idea.
That's almost like, at this point, I'm willing to call that double
hell.
No, it's not.
No,
it is not. That is a CRPG. Like that? No, it's a CRPG. So think you're what's it called? Things like your Neverwinter Nights, Baldur's Gate, that sort of thing. Okay. It's like a isometric RPG in the vein of all the old like D&D based games, basically. It's hard to discuss the genre without going into very specifics on it, because there are a bunch of subgenres in there. But Divinity Original Sin was one of the most popular indie titles, so popular that it's honestly, I'd consider it AA at this point. And Original Sin 2 has had, people have been like having review copies for a while. There might have been some other releases as well, but it's now, I think, the full version's coming. So
yeah, no, mind you, also this is specifically a console release. It's been out on PC since last year, September 14th.
Yes, right, PS4 and Xbox One, very specifically, in case you want on the Switch. I'm so sorry. Coming out on the 31st of August. Finally, we have Naruto To Baruto, which I'm assuming is supposed to be Naruto and Boruto.
Yeah, it's funny because like To, they use To as like an and, but it's also, they're calling it in the West just Naruto to Boruto.
I mean, it doesn't make sense. It's like, you want them together? Or are you talking about the transition part? Because I need one or the other.
Because I think in Japan the idea is, I need to actually look at what like hiragana they're using for that. But I get the impression that they meant and in Japan, but over here they're just like, yeah, the transition, Naruto to Boruto, because we're in the series transition right now. So yeah.
So we got that game, Shinobi Striker, coming out for Xbox One, PS4, PC, also on the 31st. do we know anything about this game?
Yes, I played this pretty extensively at PAX. I actually tried to get an early review copy of this game, but clearly was not successful, unfortunately.
Sad face.
Sad face. But next time, Bandai Namco, you're on notice. I'm getting you next time. But yeah, so this is actually the main gameplay mode is like a capture the flag almost. So you're in an arena, and the one thing this game really has going for it is it's a third person like action game. It's not the Ultimate Ninja Storm games though. That's the one differentiation I want to make. You're playing as a character. It's a little more janky, so it's not mainly like a brawler or anything like that. But you can run on walls. You can use your jutsus on single buttons, kind of like it almost feels like a MOBA in a sense. I would say even like one that you can control. But I don't want to make that comparison. I don't want to make the comparison because if it was like a MOBA, it'd be more like there's no level up, there's no creeps or anything like that. You're just like teams of 4 versus teams of 4. You have to capture the enemy's flag in one of the main modes, but there is like a 4v CPU, and you just have to capture each other's flag, run around, run on walls, use jutsus, fight each other. It was super fun actually. So
objective-based team action game.
There you go, objective-based team action.
We'll take that. That's fine. That is acceptable.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do some wrap-up plugs and housekeeping. For those who want to email us at casualmasterquest@gmail.com, you can also hit us up on Twitter at MasterQuestPod. I got to be careful because I always get those mixed up. I had to be really careful.
Very specific with it. Yep.
All podcasts and gaming can be found on our YouTube channel, coming up from my end at least, because I export everything from Twitch. However, we do have our own streaming services pleasures that we can offer you. Myself, you can find me on Twitter at 2timestyler, or I stream every Tuesday and Friday, 6 to 9 p.m., strictly Zelda games, twitch.tv/2timestyler. Nick, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at LRWarrior11. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/LRWarrior11. I stream whenever I can. I've got a schedule incoming because there's a new semester starting, but I'll do Destiny, Overwatch, and a variety game. That's going to be on my schedule.
Like Bayonetta?
Yeah, so the next game will be finishing Bayonetta, I believe.
Bayonetta is like a scent trap for weeaboos. Like, you put it on the ground, people will smell it from like 3 web pages away. Like,
oh yeah. No, I did. I was gonna say if you put Bayonetta on the ground, you'll find me in that trap like 2 hours later. Funny enough, I actually didn't see Nick put out any Twitter didn't show me his stream notification, and I just showed up and Bayonetta was being played, and I was like, I smelled it, so I checked Twitch. I sense it.
Good save. Cam, where can we find you?
So you can find me at Cam Collects on Twitter. That's my preferred social media, so feel free to hit me there and DM there, and do hit me there. It's my favorite thing to do. So do hit me up. Do your best. In terms of Twitch, I stream twice a week, and that's twitch.tv/CamCollects, primarily a Pokemon streamer at this point in time. So Mondays, we're doing a Pokemon White 2 Nuzlocke randomized, and that's Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then overlapping with Tyler, so we try and be in each other's streams a little bit. But
we fight.
On Fridays, we fight just a little bit. On Fridays, I also stream at 6 p.m., and I am doing Pokemon Prism, which is going to be a blind Nuzlocke because I've never played it before. Very extensive fan game, goes through 20 badges, like 4 regions or something like that. And those are my 2 stream sections going on right there. And if you do want to listen to me on another podcast, I run one myself called Into the Video Game, which you can find at intothevideogame.com. And that focuses a lot more on like numbers and industry analysis, data type stuff.
Okay. And Maria, thank you so much for being a guest on our show. Where can we find you?
At Lord of the Marias on Twitter.
Lord of the Marias.
Yes, because I am the Lord of the Marias. I do not stream at the moment. Maybe once my schedule settles a little bit, that's something I would consider. But for now, just Twitter at Lord of the Marias.
That's perfectly fine. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
Awesome. Yep. Thank you. For those who haven't checked out the casual interview of Nick that came out last week, that is actually a really big hit right now. And apparently Nick is really popular. I'm sorry, Cam. Don't worry, you're popular too, but Nick is...
I'll compare the numbers. Let's fight those numbers.
I was going to say,
we can do that next week.
Oh boy. And coming out later this month, supposedly over at a popular podcast, Suck My Thick, I might make an appearance of some sort. We'll see and discuss more about that later.
No.
But until then, I will hope to see you next week, guys. And don't forget to never stop the grind. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I love you.
Love you.
Find more of our work by searching for Casual Master Quest on iTunes, Google Play, and other podcast players. Check out what we'll be doing next week on Twitter at MasterQuestPod.